Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Baran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shilakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bistam Supurakam Garganana Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premna Vibija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Suchandabaranam Balarkachelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sarikavaranam Vairagya Vidyambudim Sri Siddhantanidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridharam Manchakopatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamantra Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translations and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 17, the Lord travels to Vrindaban. Previously we heard how the Lord tried to go to Vrindaban through Bengal. He said he was going that way so he could meet with Janani and Janavi, his mother, and the Rio and the Ganges. But his real purpose, he proceeded to Ramakeli, and then he met with and gave his mercy to Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami so that they could leave their post in the Muslim government. And then he went back to Navadip. He went back first to Shantipur, then he went back to, he went to Shantipur first, and then he went to Jagannath Puri. And now this chapter is about Mahaprabhu actually going to Vrindaban successfully, although he's always in Vrindaban. Gachan Vrindavanam Goro Vyagre Vaina Kagan Bane Premonmatan Sahon Rityam Bidade Krishna Jopina. On his way to Vrindaban, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the forest of Jharikhanda. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the forest of Jharikhanda and made all the tigers, elephants, deer, and birds chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and dance. Thus all these animals were overwhelmed by ecstatic love. Jaya Jaya Gora Chandra, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. Sharit Kala Hoila Prabhu, Chaldite Hoila Manti, Ramananda Swarup Sange Nibrite Jukati. When autumn arrived, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Vrindaban. In a solitary place, he consulted with Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar. Mora Sahaya Korajadi Tumi Duidan Tabiyami Jayateki Sri Vrindavan. The Lord requested Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar to help him go to Vrindaban. Ratri Uti Banapate Palaya Jab Ekaki Jaibaka Hon Sangena Loiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I shall leave early in the morning and go incognito, taking the road through the forest. I shall go alone, I shall not take anyone with me. Kehojari Sangaloite Pachi Uti Dai Sabare Rakiba Jena Kehonadi Jai. If someone wants to follow me, please stop him. I don't want anyone to go with me. Prasanahaya Agyadiva Namani Baduk Toma sabar suke pate have mora suk. Please give me your permission with great pleasure, and do not be unhappy. If you are happy, I shall be happy on my way to Vrindaban. Duijanako he tumi Ishwara swatantra je icha se koriba naha paratantra. Upon hearing this, Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar replied, Dear Lord, you are completely independent. Since you are not dependent on anyone, you will do whatever you desire. Kintu amadu harashunek nivedane tomarasuke amarasuk kohila apane. Dear Lord, kindly hear our one petition. You have already said that you will derive happiness from our happiness. This is your own statement. Amadu haramane tabe borasuka hoy ek nivedana jadi daradoyamoy. If you will please accept just one request, we shall be very, very happy. Uttama brahmana ek sange avashya chahi bika kore bika dibe jabe patra bahi. Our Lord, please take one very nice brahman with you. He will collect alms for you, cook for you, give you prasadam, and carry your water pot while traveling. Banapate jaite nahi bhojana brahman agyakora sangechalu vipra ekjan. When you go through the jungle, there will be no brahman available from whom you can accept lunch. Therefore, please give permission for at least one pure brahman to accompany you. Prabhu ko hinija sange kahona loiba ekjani nilaya aner maniduka hoiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I shall not take any of my associates with me, because if I choose someone, all the others will be unhappy. Nutana sange haibeka snigda jaraman aiche jabe paitabe loy ekjan. Such a person must be a new man, and he must have a peaceful mind. If I can obtain such a man, I shall agree to take him with me. Swarup ko he e Balabhadra Bhattacharya tomate su snigda bora pandita sadhu arya. Swarup Damodar then said, Here is Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who has great love for you. He is an honest, learned scholar, and he is advanced in spiritual consciousness. Pratame tomasange aila goda hoite iharicha ache sarba tirte korite. In the beginning, he came with you from Bengal. It is his desire to visit and see all the holy places of pilgrimage. Ihara sange ache bipra ek Britya ihopate korivena seva bika kritya. In addition, you may take another brahman who will act as a servant en route and make arrangements for your food. Ihare sange lohajade savar hoy suk banapate jaite tomar nahive konduk. If you can also take him with you, if you can also take him with you, we will be very happy. If two people go with you through the jungle, there will certainly be no difficulty or inconvenience. Sebri prabhahinive bastram bajan Bhattacharya bikadive kore bikatan. The other Brahmin can carry a cloth and water pot, and Balabhadra Bhattacharya will collect alms and cook for you. Tahara Bachna Prabhu Angikara Koila Balabhadra Bhattacharya Sange Korek Nila. Thus Mahaprabhu accepted the request of Swarup Damodar and agreed to take Balabhadra Bhattacharya with him. Purva Ratre Jagannath Deki Agyaloya Sesha Ratre Ute Prabhu Chalila Lukaya. On the previous night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had visited Lord Jagannath and taken his permission. Now, near the end of the night, the Lord got up and started immediately. He was not seen by others. Pratikale bhaktagan prabhuna dekiya anveshana kore fire vyakulahoya. Because the Lord had departed, the devotees, unable to see him early in the morning, began to search for him with great anxiety. Swarup Gosai Savai Koilani Vedan Nibritta Hoya Rahe Sabe Jani Prabhurman. While the devotees were searching for the Lord, Swarup Damodar restrained them. Then everyone fell silent, knowing the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prasida Bhattacharya Prabhu Upapate Chalila Kataka Dahine Kore Bane Praveshila. The Lord abandoned walking on the well-known public road and went instead along a bypass. He thus kept the city of Cuttack on his right as he entered the forest. Nirjanbani Chali Prabhu Krishna Namaloya Hasti Vyagra Bhattacharya Prabhure Dekiya. When the Lord passed through the solitary forest chanting the holy name of Krishna, the tigers and elephants, seeing him, gave way. Pali Pali Vyagra Haste Gandhara Shukaragan Taramaje Aveshe Prabhu Korilagaman. When the Lord passed through the jungle in great ecstasy, packs of tigers, elephants, rhinoceros, and boars came, and the Lord passed right through them. Deki Bhattacharya Mani Hoy Mahabai Prabhura Pratape Tara Ek Pasha Hoy. Balabhadra Bhattacharya was very much afraid to see them, but by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence, all the animals stood to one side. Egdin Pate Vyagra Koriachi Shayan Aveshetara Gaye Prabhur Lagila Charan. One day a tiger was lying on the path, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, walking along the path in ecstatic love, touched the tiger with his feet. Prabhu Kohe Kaha Krishna Vyagra Utila Krishna Krishna Kahe Vyagra Nachite Lagila. The Lord said, chant the holy name of Krishna. The tiger immediately got up and began to dance and to chant, Krishna, Krishna. So I heard Prabhupada talk about this. He said when they were passing through the jungle, then there was a tiger lying on the path, and Mahaprabhu, he says, kicked the tiger and told him, and then Balabhadra thought, now we are dead. but Mahaprabhu told the tiger, get up and chant Krishna, Krishna. The Lord said, chant the name of Krishna. The tiger immediately got up and began to dance and to chant Krishna, Krishna. Aradine Mahaprabhu Korinari Snan Matahaste Juta Aila Korite Jalapan. Another day, while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was bathing in a river, a herd of maddened elephants came there to drink water. Prabhu Jal Kritya Kori Age Hasti Aila Krishna Kaha Bole Prabhu Jalafeli Marila. While the Lord was bathing and murmuring the Gayatri mantra, the elephants came before him. The Lord immediately splashed some water on the elephants and asked them to chant the name of Krishna. Say Jal Bindu Kana Lage Jargai. Say Krishna Krishna Kohe Preminachigai. The elephant whose bodies were touched by the water splashed by the Lord began to chant Krishna Krishna and dance and sing in ecstasy. Keho Brahme Pare Keho Koraye Chitkar Deki Bhattacharya Mane Hoy Chamatkar. Some of the elephants fell to the ground and some screamed in ecstasy. Seeing this, Balabhadra Bhattacharya was completely astonished. Pati Jaite Kore Prabhu Ucha Sankirtan Mathura Kanta Dwane Shuni Aishe Mrigigan. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted very loudly while passing through the jungle. Hearing a sweet voice, all the does came near him. Dahine Bame Dwane Shuni Jaya Prabhu Sange Prabhu Tara Anga Muche Shloka Pararange. Hearing the Lord's great vibration, all the does followed him left and right. While reciting a verse with great curiosity, the Lord patted them. Danyasma madhu Danyasma mudha matayopi harinya eta yanandanandanam upata vichitravesham akarnyavenu ranitam saha Krishna shara pujam dadur virachitam pranayavalokai danya sma muda matayopi harinya eta yanandanandanam upata vichitravesham akarnyavenu ranitam saha Krishna shara pujam dadur virachitam pranayavalokai. Blessed are all these foolish deer, because they have approached Maharaj Nanda's son, who is gorgeously dressed and is playing on his flute. Indeed, both the does and the bucks worship the Lord with looks of love and affection. Enakali Vyagra Tata Aila Panchashat Vyagra Mrigi Milichale Mahaprabhu Rasat. While Mahaprabhu was passing through the jungle, 5 to 7 tigers came. Joining the deer, the tigers began to follow the Lord. Deki Mahaprabhu Vrindavana Smriti Oihoila Vrindavana Guna Barnan Shloka Padila. Seeing the tigers and deer following him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately remembered the land of Vrindaban. He then began to recite a verse describing the transcendental quality of Vrindaban. Yatra Naisarga Durvaira Sahasanri Mrigadaya Mitra Niva Jitavasha Drutarut Tarshanadikam Yatra Naisarga Durvaira Sahasanri Mrigadaya Mitran Iva Jitas Vasa Drutarut Tarshanadikam. Vrindaban is the transcendental abode of the Lord. There is no hunger, anger, or thirst there. Though naturally inimical, human beings and fierce animals live together there in transcendental friendship. Krishna kaha kore Prabhu jabe bolila Krishna kahe vyagra mriga nachite lagila. When Mahaprabhu said, "Chant Krishna Krishna," the tigers and deer began to chant Krishna and dance. Nachikunde vyagragan mrigegan sange Balabhadra Bhattacharya deke apurva range. While the tigers and does danced and jumped, Balabhadra Bhattacharya saw them and was struck with wonder. Vyagram mriga anjone kore alingan Muke mukadiya kora anjonye chumban. Indeed, the tigers and deer began to embrace one another, and touching mouths, they began to kiss. Kotuka dekiya Prabhu hashite lagila tasabake tahan chari age chali gela. When Mahaprabhu saw this fun, he began to smile. Finally, he left the animals and continued on his way. Mayuradi Pakigan Prabhure Dekiya Sange Chale Krishna Bole Nache Matahaya. Various birds, including the peacock, saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to follow him, chanting and dancing. They were all maddened by the holy name of Krishna. Haribo Bole Prabhu Kore Ucha Dwani Brikal Lata Prafulita Se Dwani Shuni. When the Lord loudly chanted, Haribo! The trees and creepers became jubilant to hear him. I mentioned this last time I read this, but when we went to the ashram, Krishna Shakti ashram in the, what is it?
Brazil.
Yeah, in Brazil, but Campo do Jordão is where it's called. And they have many waterfalls and trees, and Srila Govinda Maharaj was with us, and we're in the middle of, in the middle of the ashram there, and it's just trees and waterfalls and everything. And Srila Govinda Maharaj told us, these trees are waiting a long time to hear the holy name. So we did kirtan among the trees so that they could hear. So here it says, when the Lord loudly chanted, Haribol, the trees and creepers became jubilant to hear him. Jharikhanda Stavara Jangama Ache Jata Krishna Nama Diya Koila Premete Unmata. Thus all living entities in the forest of Jharikhanda, some moving and some standing still, became mad by hearing the holy name of Lord Krishna vibrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Trees and other plants are standing still, but they all became jubilant, along with all the moving animals moving, and the plants who are not moving, all became mad by hearing the holy name of Lord Krishna vibrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Gramadiya Jan Jahan Koran Stiti Se Sab Gramera Loker Hoy Prema Bhakti. In all the villages through which the Lord passed, and in all the places he rested on his journey, everyone was pacified and awakened to ecstatic love of God. Keho jadi taramuke shune Krishna nam, taramuke ana shune taramuke an, sabe Krishna hari boli, nache kande hase, paramparaya vaishnava hoila sarvadeshe. When someone heard the chanting of the holy name from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and someone else heard this chanting from that second person, and someone again heard this chanting from the third person, everyone in all countries became a Vaishnava through such disciplic succession. Thus everyone chanted the holy name of Krishna and Hari, and they danced, cried, and smiled. Jajapi Prabhulok Sangatera Trase Premagupta Koran Bahire Na Prakashe. The Lord did not always manifest his ecstasy. Being afraid of a great assembly of people, the Lord kept his ecstasy concealed. Tatapi Tara Darshan Shravana Prabhave Sakala Desher Lok Hoila Vaishnave. Although Mahaprabhu did not manifest his natural ecstatic love, everyone became a pure devotee simply by seeing and hearing him. Gaurabanga Utkala Dakina Deshagiya Lokaranishtara Koila Apane Brahmiya. In this way, Mahaprabhu personally toured Bengal, East Bengal, Orissa, and the southern countries, and he delivered all kinds of people by spreading Krishna consciousness. But it's saying here that Mahaprabhu, when he was in Bengal and traveling normally, he, going through different towns and meeting with people, he would conceal his ecstasy. But now he's in the jungle, he doesn't need to conceal his ecstasy. So, Mathura Jaiba Ek Chale Asena Jharikhanda Bila Prai Log Taham Parama Prashanda. When Mahaprabhu came to Jharikhanda on his way to Mathura, he found the people there were almost uncivilized and were devoid of God consciousness. Nama Premadiya Koila, Sabar Mistar, Chaitanya Guda Lila Bujite Shaktikar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave even the Beals an opportunity to chant the holy name and come to the platform of ecstatic love. Thus he delivered all of them who has the power to understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. As evidence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we are experiencing that the people of Africa are taking the Krishna consciousness, chanting and dancing, and taking prasadam like other Vaishnavas. This is all due to the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who can understand how his potency is working all over the world. Manadeki Brahmahoy, E Vrindaban, Shaila Deki, Manehoy, E Govardhan. When Mahaprabhu passed through the Jharikhanda forest, he took it for granted that it was Vrindaban. When he passed over the hills, he took it for granted that they were Govardhan. So previously the mercy was confined to India, but then it was taken to the Western countries and even taken to the jungles in Africa. Jahannari Deki Tahan, Manaye Kalindi, Mahaprema Veshe Nache Prabhupada Kandi. Similarly, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a river, he immediately accepted it as the river Jamuna. Thus, while in the forest, he was filled with great ecstatic love, and he danced and fell down crying. Pate Pate Bhattacharya Shakamulafal Jahanje Payantahan Loyana Sakal. Along the way, Balabhadra Bhattacharya collected all kinds of spinach, roots, and fruits whenever possible. Jaigrame Rohan Prabhu Tatai Brahman Panchashat Jana Ashi Korini Mantran. Whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited a village, a few Brahmins, 5 to 7, would come and extend invitations to the Lord. Kehoana Ani Ideya Bhattacharya Stane Keho Dugda Dadi Keho Grita Kanda Ane. Some people would bring grain and deliver it to Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Others would bring milk and yogurt, and still others would bring some ghee and sugar. Jan Vipranahitahan Shudra Mahajan Ashe Sabe Bhattacharya Korini Mantran. In some villages, there were no Brahmins. Nonetheless, devotees born in non-Brahmin families came and extended invitations to Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya Pakore Vanya Vyanjane Prabhur Ananditaman. Balabhadra Bhattacharya used to cook all kinds of vegetables gathered from the forest, and Mahaprabhu was very pleased to accept these preparations. Duichari Diner Anya Rakena Samati Jahan Shunya Bana Lokera Nahika Basati Tahan Se Ana Bhattacharya Kore Pak Phalamule Vyanjana Kore Ana Vanjana Kore Vanyana Hishak. Balabhadracharya used to cook a stock of food grain that would last from 2 to 4 days. No, Balabhadra Bhattacharya used to keep a stock of food grain that would last from 2 to 4 days. Where there were no people, he would cook the grain and prepare vegetables, spinach, roots, and fruits collected from the forest. Parama Santosh Prabhur Vanya Bojane Masuk Payaje Dina Rohanir Jane. The Lord was always very happy to eat these forest vegetables, and he was even happier when he had an opportunity to stay in a solitary place. Bhattacharya Seva Kore Snehe Janshedas Taravipra Mahejal Patra Bahirvas. Balabhadra Bhattacharya was so affectionate to the Lord that he was rendering a service just like a menial servant. His assistant Brahman carried the water pot and garments. Nir jarate ushnodake snanatin bar, dui samat, dui sandhya agnitap, krishnara apar. The Lord used to bathe 3 times a day in the warm water of the waterfalls. He also used to heat himself morning and evening with a fire made with the limitless wood. Nirantara primaveshe, nirjane gaman, sukanu babe prabhu kahen abachan. While traveling in this secluded forest and feeling very happy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made the following statement. My dear Bhattacharya, I have traveled very far through the forest, and I have not even slightly received any trouble. Krishna kripalu amai bahuta kripa koila, manapate ani amai bora sukha dila. Krishna is very merciful, especially to me. He has shown his mercy by bringing me on this path through the forest. Thus he has given me great pleasure. Purve Vrindavana jaite korelana vichar mata ganga bhaktagane dekiva ekbar. Before this, I decided to go to Vrindaban and on the way see my mother, the river Ganges, and other devotees once again. Bhaktagan Sange Avasya Koriva Milan, Bhaktagani Sange Loya Jab Vrindaban. I thought that once again I would see and meet all the devotees and take them with me to Vrindaban. Eta Bhavi Goda Deshe Korilu Gaman Mata Ganga Bhakte Deki Suke Hoylaman. Thus I went to Bengal, and I was very happy to see my mother, the river Ganges, and the devotees. Bhaktagane Loya Tabe Chali Lana Range Lakakote Lok Tahan Hoyla Amasange. However, when I started for Vrindaban, many thousands and millions of people gathered and then began to go with me. Sanata Mukhe Krishna Amad Shikaila Tahan Vigna Kori Vana Pate Loya Dila. That I was going to Vrindaban with a big crowd, but through the mouth of Sanatan, Krishna taught me a lesson. Thus, by making some impediment, he has brought me on a path through the forest to Vrindaban. Mahaprabhu previously was traveling through Bengal and going through the cities like that, but because so many people followed him, he received so much trouble. But then Sanatan Goswami spoke to Mahaprabhu and told him it's not the way to go to Vrindaban with so many people. And Mahaprabhu immediately felt that. Kripara samudra dina hine doyamoy Krishna kripa vina kon sukha nahi hoy. Krishna is an ocean of mercy. He is especially merciful to the poor and fallen. Without his mercy, there is no possibility of happiness. Bhattacharya lingya tahare kohila tomare prasadyame eta sukha paila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Balabhadra Bhattacharya and told him, "It is only by your kindness that I am now so happy." Te hoko hantumi Krishna tumidoya moy arama jiva mui more hoila sadoi. Balabhadra Bhattacharya replied, "My dear Lord, you are Krishna himself, and therefore you are merciful. I am a fallen living entity, but you have bestowed a great favor upon me. Mui chara more tumi sange loya aila kripa kori morahate prabhu bhikka koila." My Lord, I am most fallen, yet you have brought me with you, showing great mercy. You have accepted food prepared by me. Adama kakere koila garuda saman Swatandishwara to me, Swayam Bhagavan, you have made me your carrier Garuda, although I am no better than a condemned crow. Thus you are the independent personality of God, the original Lord. Mukam karote vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam maham bande paramananda madhavam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead as the form of Satchidananda Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge, and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him who turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Lord. This is a quotation from Sridhar Swami's Bhavarta Dipika commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what his commentary on it. Ancient, we can say the old, from long ago, the commentary on it by Sridhar Swami on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. I believe. Emata Balabhadra Karanastavan Prema Seva Kore Tushta Koila Prabhurman. Now I believe Sridhar Swami's commentary on the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Emata Balabhadra Karanastavan Prema Seva Kore Tushta Koila Prabhurman. In this way, Balabhadra Bhattacharya offered his prayers to the Lord by rendering service unto him and in ecstatic love. He pacified the Lord's mind. And he quoted this verse, Mukam garoti vachalam pangum lagayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande paramananda madhavam. The Supreme Personality Godhead has the form of Satchidananda Vigraha, transcendental bliss, knowledge, and eternity. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him who turns the dumb, that means who cannot speak, into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Such is the mercy of the Lord. Emata Balabhadra Koranastavan Prema Seva Kore Tushta Koila Prabhurman. In this way, Balabhadra Bhattacharya offered his prayers to the Lord by rendering service unto him in ecstatic love. He pacified the Lord's mind. Emata Nana Suke Prabhu Aila Kashi Madhyana Snana Koila Manikarnikaya Dashi. Finally, the Lord arrived with great happiness at the holy place called Kashi. There he took his bath in the bathing ghat known as Manikarnika. Sekali Tapan Mishra Kore Ganga Snan Prabhudeke Hoilatara Kichu Vishmoy Gyan. At that time, Tapan Mishra was taking his bath in the Ganges, and he was astonished to see the Lord there. So tomorrow or the day after, we'll continue here with our reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's Saturday, probably on Monday. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Garadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath, H.I. Gosai Kori Chanana Bandhan, H.I. Gosai Kori Chanana Bandhan, Jao Ete Vignana Shamishta Puran, Jao Ete Vignana Shamishta Puran, H.I. Gosai Jar Muitaranas, H.I. Gosai Jar Muitaranas, Tasabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras, Tasabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras, Tader Charana Sevi Bhaktasani Bas, Tader Charana Sevi Bhaktasani Bas, Janame Janame More Ambilas, Janame Janame More Ambilas, H.I. Gosai Jabe Branje Koilabas, H.I. Gosai Jabe Branje Koilabas, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash, Anande Bolo Hari Banja Vrindavan, Anande Bolo Hari Banja Vrindavan, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Aman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Aman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudas, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudas, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhariju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai, Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattacharya Raghunath, Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai, Premsigo Shri Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai, Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Jayom Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jayom Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Brinda Ki Jai, Anandakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Sri Navadip Dham ki jai, Sri Ram Mayapur ki jai, Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Kuladvip ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Sokel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Sri Vrindaban Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go, Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Kartik Vrata ki jai, Shri Damodar Vrata ki jai, Shri Niyama Seva ki jai, Shri Urja Vrata ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.